Live chat customer service software versus chatbots. Which one is the winner? Hi, I'm David Bain. If you're considering using live chat customer service software, should you be using this as an alternative to chatbots, or are chatbots preferable? In this video, we'll explore why, in our opinion, you should be using both, as well as how best to set that up. Live chat customer service software can be wonderful because it lets you engage with your customers on a one-on-one basis in a manner that often delights. However, one significant issue, especially if you have a big and growing business or you have an agency that looks after lots of clients, is the amount of time that it takes to personally deal with each and every customer. Employing a chatbot can be an enticing alternative, especially if you employ many live agents that deal with your customer inquiries. However, it may not be that simple. Many customers prefer being looked after by real people, and your customer satisfaction levels as well as your sales numbers may go down if you cease providing that personal touch. So what's the solution? If you're clever about it, you can blend the best of both worlds by implementing live takeover, meaning that a chatbot can do all the initial legwork and a live agent can take over once the nature of the conversation has been established. So what is live takeover and why do businesses need to be aware of it?
So live takeover is a process where the bot kind of is in the middle of talking to the customer, or the bot is at a point where it really doesn't know how to answer the question that the customer posed. And at that point, a live agent, so a real human, could jump in and kind of take over the conversation, pause the bot, and then take it from there.
So what are the signs that users need to look for in order to know that it's the right moment to jump in and take over?
Yeah, so that's a great question. It's it's one of those things where um, we wouldn't expect the user to actively monitor the conversation between the bot and the customer. So we really at this point need to rely on an automated process that will allow the user to identify at which point that they can jump in. So either we identify when the bot can't answer the question, or within the chat dialogue itself, a user can specify at which point they want to be notified, and at which point it's appropriate for them to jump in. So there are a couple of use cases where that actually happens. So say you run a small e-commerce website, right? You have a chat widget that handles customer inquiries on your website. And the bot can answer a lot of basic questions about your products, and it'll kind of introduce your customers to those products. But once in a while, a customer asks a question that the bot doesn't know how to answer. So at that point, if you have a system like in Mobile Monkey that's designed to sort of notify you when that happens, you can just get an alert in your phone or in your email, and then you can jump right in and talk to the customer. Another example is if you run, say, a chat marketing agency. So you handle all of the incoming bot conversations from the customers' pages, but you don't necessarily know the business really well. So you would want to set up a very smooth way for at any certain points where the bot can't answer the questions that you had set up, or sorry, the bot that you had set up can't answer the questions, then you'd want to be able to alert your customers so that they can jump in and answer the questions as needed. And then a third scenario where live takeover is really crucial is, say you have a customer support team of five agents, and they all specialize on different parts of the product that you're offering. You want to route the different questions to the right agent. So as you know, a question about pricing comes up, you want to alert your pricing specialist, or a problem or a question about the in-stock status of a certain product, then you want to route it to the member of your team that handles those types of questions.
So what you're saying is that it may not even be a customer that's saying, I'd like to actually speak to someone live. It's simply a customer going through a process and then making the company aware of the fact that they're inquiring about something specifically, maybe pricing, and then that alerts a customer service representative, and perhaps the customer service representative that tends to deal with those kind of queries could jump in themselves without being alerted to jump in.
Yeah. So I mean, there are a couple of cases where you could do live takeover. So the case you're talking about is the customer actively wants to talk to someone, and you can also set up alerts for that. So say you have the bot ask, "Hey, you seem confused? Do you want to talk to a real human?" And then if the customer says yes, then you can set up an alert right at that moment to notify the correct member of your team. That's one way to do it. The other way is the kind of a built-in automated process where at a certain point where the bot doesn't know how to answer whatever question the customer asks, all members of your team could get an alert, and then you can jump in and answer those questions.
So why does a business really need to do this? Is it not possible just to rely on chatbots and not to have live agents involved at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think in an ideal world, the business wouldn't have to talk to customers at all, and that's why chatbots kind of came into existence anyway. Is because especially for a website that has thousands of visitors a day who want to talk to someone, there just aren't enough real humans to talk to customers, which is why it makes so much sense to have a chatbot come in and just field all of the questions that that first come in. But as we all know, in any industry, people like to talk to real humans. They they want the best of both worlds. They want to talk to a real human, and they want the real human to respond as quickly as possible. So we want to design a system that kind of gives them both. So the speed of response, it's something where the chatbot can jump right in and say, if you have any questions, any very basic questions, I can totally answer it, or I can kind of lead you down a flow and get a better understanding of what you're looking for, and that would come from the bot. And then whenever the customer gets to a point where they have more detailed questions, they have more complex questions that the bot can't answer, that's when you absolutely need to have a a real human jump in and really handle that situation.
So can you think of a business that is doing this really well at the moment, that's actually identifying the exact moment when it's no longer appropriate to use a chatbot and for a real user to actually take over?
Yeah, so we've definitely seen a lot of different use cases. One that is top of mind for me right now is the agency use case, where we have a lot of our agency partners would then set up a bot in a way that would do where the bot would kind of collect information like email and points of interest from the customer, and then when it gets to the end where the bot has already collected as much information as we can get from that customer, it will ask, what kind of questions do you have, or do you want to talk to someone? And then if the customer says yes, then the agency would set up a way to notify their customer, so that the person who's really in charge of that business could jump in and then answer those questions.
I'm just thinking about the moment that a chatbot becomes human. Is it essential to identify when a real user has taken over?
Yeah, so there are a couple of ways that we do it in Mobile Monkey. One way is we use what we call a user persona. So if the user chooses, they could send the message as themselves and not as the page. So that's a really quick way of telling the end customer that, hey, you're actually talking to a real human now. And then the other way that I've seen customers do it is by actually just having the bot say, that's great. I totally understand that you need to talk to a human. Let me get you in touch with someone right now. So that's another way to actually just telling the customer that they're about to be transferred to a human.
So if a user does drop in as themselves using their own account there, then can whoever the customer is then click on the user's profile and see who that is personally and have a look at their personal Facebook profile from there?
Right now, when we create that persona, it's just an image, a profile image, and a name, just so that the customer feels like knows that they're talking to someone real. So there's no additional information being displayed to the user.
Oh, great. So is that personal image that persona actually created within Mobile Monkey, or is it created by the photo that's taken from their personal profile?
Yeah, so right now we actually take the photo directly from the customer's Facebook profile. We do have plans in the future to allow customers to choose what photo they want presented.
So as an agent, what if I'm not by a computer to monitor these conversations? How can I be aware that someone's actually trying to get in touch with me and communicate with me?
Yeah, I mean that's a great point, and we definitely don't expect everyone to sit by a computer and watch for their chance to kind of talk to a customer. Um, for customers who do work at a desktop, we have a ton of alerts within your inbox, a bunch of visual alerts that will kind of let you know when you need to jump in. And then for customers who are on the go, who maybe out and about and aren't sitting in front of a computer, we do have a mobile app that you can download, and then you will be notified with a push notification within the mobile app whenever your attention is needed. So you don't have to be in front of a computer at
Great.
all
And
times.
can people customize how they can get notified as well?
Yes. So we recently rolled out a very special widget called the notification widget. And what that does is it allows you to choose the point in the bot dialog where a member of the team would be notified, whether it's you or whether it's you and five other people. And then you can kind of build it in as part of the bot. So it's something that happens silently in the background, but it'll allow you to notify members of the team via the app or via email.
Okay, this all sounds really great. So shall we take a look at your screen and actually perhaps you can walk the viewer through precisely how you can set up a system like this, and
Mhm.
just to make it as easy as possible for everyone watching.
Yes, of course. Happy to do that. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So here we are in Mobile Monkey. I'm in my home screen now, but I'm going to quickly jump to the inbox just so I can show you guys ways that you can be aware when a customer requires your attention as a live agent. So in our left-hand menu here, we have this pink icon with a number next to it. What this tells me is that there are 5 conversations that require my attention. And the requirements for that is these are cases where a bot, where a customer sent a message and the bot doesn't know how to respond to that message. And at this point, we assume that an agent needs to jump in, and then the agent can jump in and decide what they want to do in that case, whether or not the conversation is done, or if the conversation requires some input from them. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the inbox. And here I have my list of conversations. And there's a filter at the top. So right now the conversations on main, the main filter, which like Facebook's inbox, is basically it's a list of all the open conversations that are happening. And if I change the filter to follow up, so the follow up filter is associated with that pink dot right there. So I should see 5 conversations that where the customer sent a message, but the bot doesn't know what to do with it. So we then would alert you that there are some conversations that require you to jump in. So here we have a situation. This is my test, so it doesn't quite make any sense, but it says the customer said hi, and the bot says, sorry, I'm just a bot, but someone real will be right with you. So here I could jump right in and talk to the customer. So I'll say hello, and I'll send it. And then notice that after I say hello, my bot will be paused, so it's no longer active. And then I can continue to talk to that customer. And then we also have this nice alert here that will tell you if a contact has interacted with you over 24 hours ago. So this is a website chat customer. So if they last talked to me 24 hours ago, which means they may not be there anymore. So this is another really good reason why it's so important for customers to jump in right away. So had I seen this message yesterday when it actually happened, I could have jumped in and talked to the customer. So this is where the mobile app and all the other notifications we have installed will really help you figure it out. So this is the desktop way of seeing an alert, jumping in, and talking to your customers right away. And this is the specific case where the bot doesn't know how to answer. So now let's go through setting up the case where you actually want to specify within the chat flow when you want to get notified. So to do that, let's actually go to your website chat as one example. So I'm gonna open up my customer chat widget, the chat widget that I have here. So I'm not going to go through all of the settings here, but I'm just going to jump straight into the start bot where the conversation flow is happening. Okay, so here I have a start bot that asks the customer, hey there, do you need help? And then the customer will say yes, so they want to talk to someone. The chat bot will then say, I'm happy to help, but before we get started, can you share your email in case we get disconnected? So then the user will share the email. This is, again, at this point, it's actually a great way to kind of maintain that communication with the customer after they log off. So after they are off of your website, if the first thing you do is ask for an email and you kind of pose a great reason why you should get the email, then the customer will almost always provide the email, and then you can follow up with them later if there were any open issues. And then the next question the bot will ask is, what can I help you with today? And here you can use the multiple choice quick questions that will allow you to specify, some choices that the customer can choose. So here I have, bulk orders, product questions, pricing, and then something else, meaning, I have another question that don't apply to any of these. So what we'll do here is say this is a very common use case where the customer would have, the page would have a bunch of different users that can jump in and talk to the customer depending on the topic. So say for bulk orders, I'm going to create a new path there. So I'm saying that if the customer clicks bulk order, what will the bot say? So here I will just type in the text and say, great question. Someone real will jump when I see you momentarily. So this is the case where the customer, where the bot actually lets the customer know that someone else is going to jump on. So I have that. And then the next thing I'll do is I'll actually notify someone on my team. So I'm going to put the notification widget on here. It's going to ask me how do I want to notify them, via the mobile app or email. So I can so I can do one or both. So let's say I do want the mobile app, and I want to notify my colleague Tony. So he's going to get notified. And here's so one quick trick I want to show you right here. So right here, there's a field called notification message, and this is a message that's gonna be displayed in your app. So if you have like a special kind of note that you want to send to to Tony, in this case, you know, this customer wants to ask about pricing, so I can say, let's say pricing question here, so that when Tony receives the notification, he can see that this is a question about pricing. So here's it's kind of a quick way to communicate internally. Obviously, the end customer won't see this, so only your agent will see this. So it's a really nice way to do that. So then here, at this point, Tony will get notified. But say I'm not sure if Tony is available on his phone. Maybe he's more available on email. So I can also do the same thing, another notification widget, but this time I want to email Tony. So then I can just put in his email, tony@mobilemonkey.com. And then I can just enter the subject, you know, new customer question regarding pricing. There you go. And then I can just enter in that message. So now what I've done is I've created this flow where, depending on what question or what answer the customer selected, the right person will be notified. And it could be that, you know, it's say I'm not working on a team with 5 people, but I'm an agency, and this is just sending to my sending notifications to my customer who has to answer these questions. I could just put the same notification on any of these buttons, and then someone will be able to jump in right away after they see the the notification show up within their phone or email. So we all know that chatbots are amazing, and they can definitely be sort of the first line of defense on your website. That way, you don't have to answer every single question that comes in on your website or on your Facebook page. But as good as chatbots are, you know, they can't answer every question. They're not really equipped with all the business knowledge that you have on within your company. So it's always really, really important to be able to design a system where the chatbot can hand over the conversation to a live agent, and not just to any live agent, but the right live agent, in a timely manner. So that way, customers will get exactly what they want. Is they want quick response time, and they want to feel important. They want to be able to talk to a customer, and the more you tweak and the more you sort of perfect this process, the better the user experience will be, and then the more sales and the more leads you'll get coming through your website and your Facebook page.